But just know, you never met somebody like me before, though. Moo ba la la la, moo ba la la la, moo ba la la la. By Sandra Boynton. A cow says moo, a sheep says ba. Three singing pigs say la 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 la, the pigs say la. La la la, the pigs say la. No, no, you say, that isn't right. The pigs say oink all day and all night, and rhinos snort. And little dogs go ruff, 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 ruff.
Wow. I mean, as a parent, how do you even find time to read so many physical books?
What? Oh, what's a physical book? Oh, you mean the shelf trophies for my audiobooks. This one's 45 hours long.
No.
I don't think that you would know me. Her favorite thing to say is close to me. Slut me out, slut me out.
أنا أكيد إنه رح تكيفوا بس تعرفوا إنه جبنا لكم Why Men Love Bitches. لماذا يحب الرجال العاهرات؟ وحتى ليش بينجذبوا لهيدا النوع من البنات تحديدا. فيكن تطلبوا نسختكم من بوكس ذات لبنان عنا على الانستغرام. الحلو انه عنوان الرواية 11-11 واغلبكم اذا بتفوتوا على الكومنتس اغلبكم قايل انه شاف الفيديو على الساعة 11-11. هالساعة يلي كلنا بنعرف انه هي رمز للحب، واي اثنين بيحبوا بعض بينطروها ليدعوا انه يضلوا بحياة بعض.
I can't.
Acarició mi corazón con flores te llevaste.
What's wrong with me? Why do I feel like this?
Afternoon. What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
I'm just wondering what the heck is in our water supply.
Hi there, Roseanne. My name's Ashley and I have a PhD in physics, but we're actually going to use one of my son's books to help us out with this one. Optical Physics for Babies. This is a ball. This ball is red. It reflects red light. It absorbs blue and green light. This is a clear ball. Colors pass through it. All colors combine to make white light, and white light contains all the colors. Light travels in a straight line until it hits something. Then light can be reflected or refracted. When white light is refracted, it turns into separate colors. This is called dispersion. When white light hits a raindrop, out comes a rainbow. Hope that helps.
Let's talk the Morrigan. The Morrigan is a rather unique figure in Irish mythology and is one of the more well-known and more popular members of the Tuatha Dé. And as we've mentioned in previous episodes, the Morrigan is a triple goddess who was known for her prophetic abilities, connection to war and death, as well as the land. And many scholars believe that the Morrigan is connected to a lot of different myths from different cultures, one of the more prominent ones being Morgan Le Fay, who was one of the great antagonists of Arthurian legends, and some believe that even their names are etymologically linked together. However, the actual meaning in Irish and Welsh are different, so that connection is a bit tenuous. And some mythological historians actually believe that the Morrigan is connected to the Banshee myth because of the Morrigan's connection to war and death and the ominous shriek that is often said to signify her presence. Her myth has been warped and changed over the years into that of the Banshee, or that the Banshee was at least inspired by the Morrigan. And as well as the Arthurian legends, the Morrigan is maybe connected to Norse mythology with the likes of the Valkyrie, who is also said to appear on battlefields and could appear in 1 or 3s. And both the Morrigan and and the Valkyries were thought to symbolize the full circle of life, as they had the power to give and take life. So this was just a quick introduction to the Morrigan, and they're often talked about as if it's one entity. But the Morrigan was thought to be made up of 3 different entities, and that's what we'll talk about next. So be prepared for a few episodes on the Morrigan. And in the meantime, if you can't get enough of Irish mythology, pick up Black Bridge on Amazon, on Kindle or paperback. Let's talk the Red Hand of Ulster. The Red Hand is one of the most enduring emblems in Irish iconography, rooted in Gaelic mythology. Legends say an ancient king named Lowry Lovejarrig of the Red Hand ruled over Ulster, but its popular origin myth tells of O'Neill and O'Donnell racing by boat to touch Irish shores first, with O'Neill severing his hand and throwing it to win. This bloody severed hand then became a primal symbol of sacrifice, determination and dominance in medieval Ulster. Well before Irish heraldry formalised, images of red severed hands appeared on shields, buildings and seals, asserting native cultural identity in the northern province. When Anglo-Norman knights introduced heraldry, Ulster kings retained the red hand, rather than imported European motifs. It persevered through English conquest as a visual symbol of Gaelic heritage. The Red Hand was incorporated into the flag of Northern Ireland, however, during the era of Home Rule and eventually partition. Yet its mythic meaning still resonates. While scholars debate the true origins, the Red Hand's lasting symbolic power connects today's Irish, who are aware of its origins, to the primordial legends rooted in the North. Its bloody handprint imprinted on Ireland's visual consciousness. And for a modern day mythical adventure, join the cycle and pick up my fantasy book, Black Bridge, on Amazon, on Kindle, paperback and hardback.
My 80-year-old grandfather read my romance novels. He read about the first 3 of them before he passed away. Now, he was super Catholic, super religious, and I was a little bit flabbergasted when he said that he wanted to read my books. I'm like, I get that you want to support me, Papa, but you know what? I don't think these books are for you. And in his super, I'm an Italian New Yorker, he was like, you're my granddaughter, I'm gonna support you, give me your books. So I give him my first book, Collision, and being that it's the first book that I ever wrote, it was very tame. There's only like 1 sex scene toward the end, and the storyline is actually pretty good.
Go, just start reading. It was exactly what I needed. I agree. I'm feeling curiously frisky too. Alright, yeah, no. No, come on, just keep reading.
In the 70s, Stephen King was releasing so many books that his publisher kind of told him to slow down. The industry standard at the time was only 1 book a year, but Stephen King didn't want to stop releasing books, so he decided to take on a pen name. Originally, the pen name was Guy Pillsbury, after his grandfather, but people at the office kind of noticed the similarities, the connections, and so he changed it to Richard Bachman. And he went under the radar for a number of years, actually. He released some pretty notable works, Rage, The Running Man, The Long Walk. He enjoyed some pretty moderate success. The book sold pretty well. And there was even a reviewer who said something along the lines of, Richard Bachman is who Stephen King wishes he could be. And then in the mid-80s, he released Thinner, and there was a book clerk who started reading it and couldn't get over the similarities to Stephen King's work, couldn't get past the fact that he was reading a Stephen King novel, and so he decided to look into it further, looked at the copyrights for all of Richard Bachman's books, and noticed that they all tied back to Stephen King's publisher, except for Rage, which tied back to Stephen King himself. So he got in touch with Stephen King and kind of said, I know who you are, but I'm not going to out you. And Stephen King called the book clerk and was kind of like, what do you want to do here? But I think at that point he kind of took it as the death of Richard Bachman. By that point in the mid-80s, publishers had eased up on their rules of 1 book a year, and I think Stephen King even released 4 books in 1 year at that point. But he was going to release Misery as a Bachman book, which I think is crazy. But I guess he just decided, what's the point? And then on the same day in 1996, Richard Bachman and Stephen King both released a book. Richard Bachman released The Regulators posthumously because he was now dead. And Stephen King released Desperation. And if you put the covers together, it makes one cohesive cover photo. So anyways, I just thought that was cool.
Okay, so get this. The other day, my mom texted me and she goes, hey, I sent you a book. If you already have it, like, return it. And I was like, interesting. She sent me a book. What book? Then I was like, what? You sent me a book? Okay, woo, exciting. Why did you do that? And she goes, I don't know why I did. It's not like you don't have anything to read, but I saw this girl talking about this book on TikTok. And I thought it was intriguing. So I got it for you. And the book arrived. Is this book right here, Her Soul to Take? And let me just show you. When I opened the book, the first thing that I saw. Here's the book, right? And when you open it,
Oh, so you're the sound that every Sarah J. Maas character makes.
No! That's growling! I just wanna fuck the Darkling!